So this is my friend Alicia, and I wanted to introduce you to her. She is one of the coaches on my team, and she is just amazing in that the way that she looks at coaching and the way she looks at different programs and the way that she really walks her different customers through a program as well as the nutrition program. It's very inspiring because she's extremely thorough, and she's also a great listener, and she can definitely help you problem solve throughout the ways because some of it she's lived through. So I've known Alicia for many, many, many years. In fact, I think, gosh, it's been over 15, probably 15 years at least, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
At least.
From your time at the city.
Yes. And I left the city in 1999. So it's been a while. That's right. I was there when you would date Walter. I remember that. Sure. Okay, so back to the discussion at hand. Alicia, anyway, is a great coach. And so I wanted to get her on here really quickly just to tell you a little bit about what this most recent program she's been doing has done for her. So Alicia, tell us what the program is and how has it been, like, how is it different than the ones you've been doing in the past? Because you've been working out almost daily for almost 2 years or more even.
Right. Yes. So right now I am finishing the 645 program, 6 days a week for 45 minutes. I'm on day 83. I'm in the performance week. So I finish up in a couple of days and oh my gosh, this has been a super fantastic experience. I'm so happy Beachbody rolled this out. Amala Caesar is the perfect person, super trainer to be guiding this. He has a fantastic personality. He's very good at listening and being in tune with coaching one-on-one. It's a small group that's there. So in the classroom that he has, I have things popping up on my screen. Okay, I'm so sorry.
The worst.
And I have pop-ups. So Amala has it's 3 different stages. And he encourages you, if you are not getting to a comfort zone, then you don't move on to the next stage until you've gotten to through the stage 1 where you have better flexibility, mobility, and stability, that you don't have to use weights, gravity, and your fists work just as well as if somebody is more experienced and has done a lot of workouts who's carrying 10, 15, or 40-pound weights. So that's the best part. And it's 15 minutes of stretching and then 30-minute workout and then a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes of stretching out after the workout. From upper body, lower body, tempo, cardio, power, strength building, weight loss. These programs, what I love about Beachbody is you don't have to guess at what the program is going to do for you. And that's what has been so helpful about 645, that Amala teaches you form. So I've been working out for years, but maybe my form wasn't correct, or what I thought was correct form really wasn't. Now I understand that, where to put my knee, how to keep my knee more straight than having it fall in, keep my toes in one direction where maybe they were leaning a different direction. So placement so that you don't injure yourself. Is the key, and having proper form. And that's what you learn by doing this program.
And so tell me, what I loved was one of the things you told me about how some of the results you found maybe aren't always weight loss, right? What is one of the main things that happened during this program that changed for you?
Flexibility.
And you said your knees.
Oh, yes, definitely my knees. My knees crunch, or they used to crunch a whole lot when I would bend.
Is that like popping or?
Yes, like those plastic little things that packing material.
Yes,
and you pop them, right? Those little popping. So it was like a soft crackle pop of that when I would bend my knees. So for years I've always put on knee supports, knee compression things, braces. I don't know what you actually call them, right? But I would put those on. And through this program, I think I've only done it twice. And then I realized I really don't need them. I was using them more out of fear because I didn't want to hurt myself, when I was really, what I come to realize is that I was actually building strength in my knees and in my ankles. So I had better support, I have better balance, better flexibility as a result of it. And I didn't use the knee support, the supports at all. And I'm in the 13th week, and I'm pushing more weight than I have ever used in a workout, and doing the lunges. I don't jump as much. I jump, but I then maybe for 1 or 2 sets, but then I'll maybe modify the last set, or else so that I'm taking some of the bounce out of it, making it a step or something like that, just so that I don't push myself to where I hurt myself.
Right, for
But
sure, for sure.
That's what I love about this program. And you can always hit pause if you need to, like, catch your breath and reposition yourself. So there are days where that 45-minute program maybe took 55 minutes, or maybe I was being a little too hard on myself and I made sure I did the thing twice because I couldn't get my brain and my body to coordinate itself with cues. Because, when you're looking at the TV this way, but they're calling out other things, you get confused by watching their motion and what you're actually doing. So, there were times I had to, like, wait, start, stop, hit play again, turn away from the TV and just focus on listening. And those workouts, took me a little bit longer, but that was my own personal issue. That wasn't it wasn't his fault.
That's so funny, because there are times when I only have a few minutes. So I've learned the move really fast, and I just fast forward. I'm like, okay, I need to do 3 sets, and I'll just get the 3 sets done and then go to the next block and see what we have to do. But then I miss a lot of, like, what you talked about, some of his form check. So when I'm able to, like, do it full on, I'm able to hear a lot of his advice, his thoughtful ways of looking at your muscles and how do you stretch those. I know that for me, the stretching has been invaluable. I've never stretched my body in so many different ways.
We learned to protract and retract and
because
dorsiflex and all these things that I had no idea how important they were. You hear it in a workout, but then you don't really pay attention. And when he's, like, hammering it to you for 13 weeks, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. It makes sense.
Yes. And I know for me, whenever I go get a massage, I'm like, it's my upper back. And he has us stretch out our upper back every single day. Every day before every workout, you stretch out that upper back. And I'm like, this is what's been missing in my life. Right?
True, very true.
But I love that your knees got stronger, because I hear that from so many people, that their knees are weak. They can't do all those things. They can't do lunges. They can't do this. They can't do that because it hurts their knees. And I'm like, it's actually that your knees need to get stronger. And it takes a while for your knees to get stronger, because you've actually been doing a lot of workouts that would strengthen your knees for almost 2 years now. And I want to say it took me a good maybe 1.5 years before I stopped noticing the popping in my knees. But as you said, he's really working on stability too. And all
right.
that.
And to know that your knee, if you're lunging, make sure you keep your shin forward. Don't let it turn out, because that's what's going to put the pressure on your knee. So if so it's just those little slight changes in form that make a difference. And I think that's what I learned, is that maybe I was doing the moves wrong, is why my knees were hurting, as well as them not being strong enough. But I was putting more pressure on them because I didn't have my feet or my shins facing the right direction in that move. And so, because he talks you through, and there's 4 people in his program that he's working, they're asking questions at their different levels. So he'll go and correct them. And you're like, oh, that's my problem. Or, oh, I see the form because she's going slower, or whatever. And that, I like the program. I would encourage everyone. This goes public on BOD on November 19th, I believe. And I think everybody should put this into their next program. Even if you're not a program person, don't do all 13 weeks. And if you want to start somewhere, if you're more advanced, start in phase 2. If you're just beginning, start at phase 1, because of the different progressions. But the things that you'll learn, unless you truly are a fitness trainer who has a background in education in this, I think it's going to be very insightful for everyone to do it, at least for a few weeks.
I completely agree. And it's funny, I do hear from people, they're like, well, I like a live class because of just what you said. Like, I'm not sure my form is right. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. I can tell you, I've never gotten this much information or or understanding of my form in any class I've ever attended. And I attended classes for years, and no teacher ever came around to every single person and fixed your form. They would see one person doing it really wrong and they would tell them and fix that, but they wouldn't fix my specific thing. Like if they would never be able to see if my knee was out a little bit or in a little bit. And that's what I like about this too, is that you get to hear it, see it, and he repeats it over and over again and talks about all the different muscles that you're working and how it should feel, how it shouldn't feel. He tells you not to shrug when you shouldn't be shrugging. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I am shrugging. So
Exactly.
it's awesome. It's awesome. And I've never had such an intelligent teacher before, you know, and all the different workouts I've ever done. Everyone's, I think you're a person who's leading the class is worrying about keeping people hyped up, worrying about what the next move is, worrying about if people are keeping up, and they're thinking about so many things. The last thing they're thinking about is everybody's form and is their leg right? Unless you have a personal trainer watching just you, you know, and that's how I feel in this. I kind of have a personal trainer that I have access to with that. We kind of like a small group session going on. So I think it's awesome too. All right. We are out of time, Alishia. We don't want to take up any more time for anyone here, but I think you shared such great information. And I do too hope people will do this program and see not only the results of getting stronger and more stable, and it helps your balance, you'd said, right? It helps
definitely.
You said it helped your reaction time.
Oh, yep, because you have to drop weights and catch them, and then you have to do another move and snatch. So yes, my reaction time has improved on different things. And stretching, at the beginning, I used to need a towel to grab my shoes, my tennis shoes, to stretch out my hamstrings. Now I'm like literally able to grab my top of my shoe and into the arch of my shoe with the flexibility. So my hamstrings have never been better than they are at this time. So
I love that.
Definitely you will stretch out and have better balance, which is important as we age.
Absolutely. It's almost more important than anything. Strength training, balance, stability, all of that, getting those ankles strong, the hips, making sure the hips are stretched out, flexibility.
And wrists. Who knew?
Right.
All the wrist exercises we did.
Yeah. Well, because I hear so much from people who have carpal tunnel, and it's because you're not stretched and you're not taken care of. So anyway, let's solve the world's problems again another day. Right.
All right. Goodbye, my friend.
Bye. See you later. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Yep. You too.